Welcome back. Over a dozen parents in the Capital Region were honored for the Parent of the Year. And joining me today to talk about the gala are two of the winners, Terry Gallucci and Laurel McAdoo. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
So, Terry, you won in what category?
Most positive parent.
How about you, Laurel?
Survivor Award.
So let's talk a little bit about this, because the Saratoga Today had an awesome article on Friday about the whole entire event. And people say, oh my God, there were so many award categories, so many winners. Isn't it just one winner? Can you guys talk a little bit about that and what it meant to you to receive this award in your category, Terry?
Well, I think for us, we are just entering our maintenance phase. So we've been going through this horrible disease for 10 months, and I think in our home we just really have a positive environment, and it's what gets us through. So for me to be selected for most positive parent was it felt good to go home to show Dante the award and
Dante, your son, 15-year-old, battling cancer,
lymphoblastic lymphoma.
And how did you feel when you got the call, the email saying you were one of the nominees? You didn't know you were the winner until you actually got there.
No, and I think with everything that we've been going through in the last 10 months, it's a bright spot. It just was something that really felt good, and just a lot of fun.
How can you be positive going through all of that?
No, you have to. You don't even have an option. You have a child that's faced with, a life-threatening disease, and there are no options. I think, any parent who doesn't approach this in a positive manner with a good outlook is doing their child an injustice, and I think they just need that.
And Laurel, you won for the Survivor Parent.
I did, yes.
And can you talk about your category?
Sure. I believe my category had something to do with, getting up after you've been repeatedly pushed down, so to speak. I am a parent of 3 boys, and one of my twins passed away after a 7-year battle with cancer. And I started a foundation in his namesake it's called the Miles of Smiles Foundation. And it's been just a year and a half, but it's been a great repository for me to keep his name alive, keep his spirit alive. He was bright and giving and positive, and it's been a pleasure serving other families because I am all too familiar with the journey, and I've got people say, oh, we don't know how you do that. And our fight was for so long, we don't know what else to do. He was diagnosed when he was 2, so his brother and I always say we were raised with this. We don't really know anything else.
And he passed away in 2012?
He passed away in July of 2012, yep.
And your friend Aaron nominated you. When you found out about the awards and that you were nominated, and again, just like Terry, you didn't know that you were a winner until you got to the gala and your name was called out. How did you feel about that?
Particularly for this category, I felt really, really, it was amazing because there's a lot of people with a story. I'm not the only one, Terry's not the only one. And that was definitely apparent that night, listening to the different categories and the stories of the people that received the winning nominations. And it was overwhelming. It felt amazing because I always say I do what I do from the heart.
Yeah.
So you don't ever know who's looking, who's paying attention, and I'm not doing it for who's paying attention, but it's nice to know that somebody was.
Well, and the judges said that the most difficult categories to actually select winners from were the most positive and the survivor because of all the different stories. Talk about the energy in the room on that day with all the parents there from, all the different nominees, their families, the children. Can you talk a little bit about that so that the people that weren't there that want to participate next year can know a little bit about?
Yeah, I think it was tremendous. And for myself, many of the people that were in the room that night will be people that I'll see going forward. Some of them reached out to me and said, I'm so-and-so, And you know, there is a really close circle of parents that keep you in their heart and connect with you constantly. So for me that night was wonderful, because when I walked in, they all came up and introduced themselves and made me feel very welcome. And you know, we're obviously, you know, just starting our journey with this, and so that support network is so incredibly strong that people can't even begin to imagine.
Some people say that parenting is not a job. I'm a parent. I have 3 kids. I think it is a job, 24/7. How do you feel about that?
You know, I don't know what the slogan is, the toughest job you'll ever love. It might be the Army or something, but I would say being a parent is the toughest job I'll ever love. And when I've reflected back over the years, you know, I'm the parent of a 29-year-old. So I've been a parent of an only child, and 17 years later, I had his brothers. I've been the parent of twins. I'm the parent of a child with autism.
Never
I'm
stops.
the parent of a child that has passed away from cancer. So the most important thing that I have done in my 48 years is to be a parent of these children.
And at this event, some parents last year said, oh my God, it was great, not just because of the awards, but I felt as if it was a networking event for parents, because every single person in there is a parent. Different than some of the events that you go to where there's a mix. But there, some people said, oh my God, I didn't feel awkward sitting at this table because we had so much in common. And I feel that, and I, again, don't know if you felt the same, but every table, you don't feel disconnected, because everyone there, whether, you know, the different stories, but you all go through struggles.
Yeah, and I think you did a great job to incorporating men into this, because you know, I know in
we
my
have dads
case,
too.
in my case, but you know, sometimes I think they're forgotten, and I think that you know, none of us could go through the challenges and face the challenges that we have in front of us without our spouses. So it's vice versa. And
so how do you feel about the different categories? Because besides the different categories, there were also for mom and dad in some of the categories, because I don't think a mom can compete with a dad, or a dad with a mom.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. I thought the dad categories were awesome, because they're single dads. I thought that the people that are parenting the second time around was a great category, because the grandparents that are now raising their grandchildren because of some unfortunate circumstance with their own children. The categories were very, very well thought out, well covered. The energy in the room was just up. I think you played a big part of that, and how you kind of opened everything up. I got at my table, I had the mother of the year with the most kids, so she had 6 kids.
6 kids.
And then I had the mother that actually makes dinner for her children every night.
Day.
So I'm like...
So you'll definitely be there next year.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They friended me on Facebook, and they've, you know, sent me little notes like, oh, my kids thought you were amazing.
So it's like a networking. You're connecting, staying connected, and that's basically the, you know, main goal, is to keep parents connected and sharing the different struggles, the different stories. And you can start nominating parents for the 2014 Parent of the Year. And thank you so much for joining me, Terry and Laurel. And to see this interview again, head to our website, looktvonline.com.